Hi, everybody, and welcome to Coffee Chat.
Hey,
Jeanie and Cindy.
morning, Cindy.
Brought to you by Bnow, the beautiful network of women. Jeanie and I, a while back, decided to share our daily conversations because you're such a wealth of information, Jeanie, and you have such great ideas about things, and you pull these things out of the air. You're just so well read. You just impress the mess out of me.
Well, thank you. I received that, but I have to lay this at your feet. You are the one that kept after me going, we need to be recording this. Nobody is going to be interested in this. And you're like, yeah, they will. And I was like, okay, well, let's just give it a try. Well, guess what? We get great feedback. People love this.
Yeah, they do.
And we have fun. Yeah.
Yes, we do. We always have fun.
Yeah, but thank you for making this happen.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I felt it was worth sharing.
Yeah.
People. So let's talk about the power of the home.
Because it's up for both of us. You recently put your house up for sale.
Right.
And moved, you and your husband moved from Texas to Florida. And everything has changed. And I kind of was watching you, because you're like, okay, we're getting rid of this and we're getting rid of that. And we got this clutter, we got that, and we're fixing this. And you know what I'm seeing too, because we just sold our house last Friday.
Right.
And we are renovating our winery to move into it, which is something we've been talking about for almost 2 years. And, so in thinking about how the energy has changed, even just selling the house, we met with our builder last night and started laying our plans and saying, what are the first things that need to be done? You just can't do it all at one time. But in looking at getting rid of things that we don't need, and here's the other thing, this is really interesting. And I know this came up for you too. And I can remember on one of was it Tool Time or something? And they were talking about the neighbor, Tim Allen's neighbor. And he was in his house, and he was all of a sudden, he's fixing the fence and he's fixing the concrete. And he's like, why would I do this for a new person when I won't do it for myself?
Right.
And that's what we're seeing too, is we have some things, when we moved here 11 years ago, Cindy, we had 2 big rescue black lab ranch dogs, and they were sweet, but they were used to running this huge ranch, and now they're in this backyard. Well, they smooth ate the door frames off over by the pool, and it looks like, if you didn't know better, you think, oh my God, they got termites. It's no, we had 2 big black labs who just ate it.
Right.
And, we keep saying, oh, well, we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. Well, guess what? We're finally fixing it.
Right.
Why wouldn't we do that ahead of time? Because there is an energy in our home.
Exactly.
So what did you find?
Yeah. Well, I knew what I wanted to do to the house all along. And what we're getting is the house needs to be updated, which it does. The house, it's in a pretty posh neighborhood where they're building new homes that are all, up to date and brand new, and people are updating all the time. So the person who's going to walk in that threshold of our front door is going to have a creative mind and say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I know it's a woman. I can see her. I can see through her eyes. She's looking and she's going, oh, absolutely. Because it has 2 huge master bedrooms, suites with private bathrooms, huge master bedrooms, and this great room that's 895 square feet in itself.
And all those windows, it's where you had your grand piano and stuff. Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh.
So I know it will go to someone with a creative mind. And there's a lot of people like that. I would have put some skylights in, and I would have redone the master bathroom, that type of thing. But it's really not, to me, we lived in it. It's just fine. Just the right person needs to walk through and see what we saw when we first bought it.
Well, you said something really interesting, because you are a creative person.
Mm-hmm.
You are a songwriter, you are an author, you are a very creative person. And, we are doing the Bnow retreats. We've been doing this for 5 years. You do all of our website stuff, you do all of our video stuff, you do all of our brochures. So yeah, that house got
Our book.
Oh, and our book too. Oh, yeah.
We have a new book, everybody.
Yeah, but that house and our homes hold our energy.
Yes, they do.
And so that house of yours, which is gorgeous, and it's in the country club area, and right near the golf course, it's like it has that creative energy thing, which is what is going to draw in a creative person.
That's a very good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I'm relating to. That's a very, very good point.
It's the truth. And so with ours, we know, because we have this house, we bought it 11 years ago, and it's a 75-year-old house, but
an awesome house.
It is an awesome house, but both ends of it have been added on recently. So a big kitchen and dining area. And then what sold me was this big bathroom.
Oh, that's awesome.
Walk-in shower, a big tub, a separate toilet, laundry facilities, a big walk-in closet, and it opens onto the pool. Well, guess what? We have a guest house too, that is like its own little, 1-bedroom guest house. But in this house, there's only 2 bedrooms, and 1.5 baths. I mean, a massive 1.5. And then the guest house that has a full bath and stuff. But it's not the right house for someone trying to raise little kids. You need more than 2 bedrooms. And so we use our bedroom, and then Joe uses his office, and I use the middle part of the house as my office, which is here. And, but people walk in this house and they said, it feels so good in here.
It does.
It does.
I'll be on that list.
It's true.
Your house has a feel good all over it.
Thank you. It's when I bought my little condo near White Rock Lake in Dallas a number of years ago, it had just been destroyed by this woman who was a drug addict and who had 22 cats. And I wouldn't even open the refrigerator. I was afraid there was going to be a severed head or something in there. It's like, oh, I mean, just awful. And so it had to be, just really imagination. But, I had the carpet replaced and paint, but I literally, when I repainted it, I literally painted love into the walls. Love, 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 peace. And it was 496 square feet, which sounds like a shoebox, but it had lots of windows. It overlooked the pool. It was 3 stories up. And people would walk in, they would go, I love this place. I was like, well, that's not accidental. So when we're renovating the winery, of course, we built the winery on love, which is why we've not been able to sell it. I went, well, duh, it belongs to us, and we've tried to sell it. But I said, Joe, this is our home. And so we're redoing everything.
I love that winery. I love it. I love the porch outside. I love the space inside.
It's gorgeous.
It and even walking in there, Jeanie, just because it is your energy. I saw your brand new shower and your brand new bathroom. I said, so have you showered in there yet? You went, no.
Well, I have. I've gone over and claimed it. I've showered several times there. Yay! but Cindy, I think the power of the home cannot be overstated.
No. You
have walked into, and I have walked into houses that feel claustrophobic, or they feel dense and heavy, or they feel like somebody has just argued there. I mean, you can feel it.
And it's the energy holds. You're exactly right.
It is.
In everyone. It's funny about the word home. It's interesting. I just got back from California.
Yes.
Where I grew up. And Mom and Dad are still in the house that I grew up in. We moved there when I was a year old.
Wow.
Yeah. So for me, when I go there, people always say I look a lot different when I come back from California, because there I feel myself, like who I am and what I am, because it's where my first 30 years were there.
Yeah.
And since then, I moved to Texas. Now we know how Texas is. Texas will wrap her arms around you and say, "We love you. We love you. Loves you." And so then Texas became my home.
Yes.
And so I would go back to Texas and say, okay, I'm at this home. I was at this home in this home. Now what's interesting is I'm in Florida, which I have not emotionally, it hasn't become my home yet.
Not yet.
Because I'm here because of my children and grandchildren. But I haven't felt that home thing yet. So what's interesting is I went back to California and I went, oh, and people would say, well, where are you from? I said, well, this is my home, my home, my home, my home.
Right.
Right. Because now I don't live in Texas anymore.
Yeah.
And I felt this void of saying, oh, I don't claim Texas anymore, but I do, because I have two projects that are Texas projects. So yeah. I'm very Texas. But as far as a house or a location, I don't have a home there anymore. And it's kind of strange. And I wonder if that, people have come in to look at the house and they like the house and this kind of thing. I just really want that beautiful, creative woman. I know it's a woman. She walks in and I can see her getting excited about the potential, because the house has great, great, great potential. It wouldn't take that much to upgrade it. And so anyway,
here's something that I found, because we just signed the papers a couple of days ago.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, it happened really fast. And I was telling my husband, Cindy, I said, Joe, I just look at this house now and I feel different about it. And he said, well, in what way? And I said, well, it's not ours anymore. Now we're leasing it back until we can get, for a couple of months till we can get some stuff done.
But it's not,
that's not ours. Well, I'm seeing it through new eyes. I'm seeing it through her eyes, the new buyer's eyes.
Exactly.
And what is happening with you, I would submit that as soon as this woman who will come in and we see her there and she goes, yeah, baby, this is mine. This is what I'm going to do. Da, 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 da. And then when that's all, signed, sealed, and delivered, it's going to release you from those loving arms of Texas.
You're exactly right.
And it's going to release you to your home in Florida. I believe that.
Exactly.
And, I can look behind you. I see your musical instruments. I see your artwork. Right. I know that you've done some beautiful things to that, but I do get it.
Right.
That now, I mean, when we met with our builder yesterday, and it was like 2 days ago, we signed the agreement and now we're ready to move it on. But it's yeah.
That phrase, home is where the heart is.
Mm-hmm.
So of course we know that Texas, deep in the heart of Texas. I mean, it's in the song.
Yeah, it is.
And then going back to see mom and dad, that's mom and dad. So home is where the heart is.
Right.
And I don't know if I'll feel that way when they make their transition the same way about Redondo as I do now, because I go and see mom and dad in the house that we were raised.
Yeah, they're holding the energy there for you.
Right.
Yeah.
But Redondo has changed so much from when I grew up. We were just a sleepy little beach town, and now it's
huge. Yeah.
Different, very different energy there than it was when I was growing up.
Well, in speaking about people changing homes and stuff, we have one of our Bnow women, and she and her husband sold their big house, near Houston, and they bought a big RV, and they've been living in this RV. And so they're more mobile and all of that. And it's changed everything. I mean, she's just had to get rid of stuff and really look at everything and go, how do I feel about this? how do I want this? And I'm doing that now too. I'm just thinking like, what do I really want? What do I really need? Does this, and it's kind of like the Marie Kondo thing, pick it up, look at it, and does this spark joy? And if not, it has to move out. And so, if somebody is thinking, oh, I want to move or I have to move or whatever, I would point them in the direction of clutter clearing. I do offer a clutter clearing webinar. This is not about selling that, but I have free stuff if people want to contact me. I've got a free ebook and I've got a free house template and all that. All they have to do is just let me know and I'll send it to them. But if you look at what you're holding on to and realize that stuff is holding on to you too. And, I admire the heck out of you that you and your husband were able to release so much stuff, sell it, give it away.
About two-thirds of our stuff went away.
It was huge.
It is huge. And there's things that haven't made it that I wish had, and there's things that showed up going, I didn't even know I had this. So the transition's been different. But again, one thing I think about as far as keeping stuff is I think about the people that got on those boats to come to America with just a dream and a suitcase. What would you put in that suitcase? Think about that. If you had a suitcase and that's all you were allowed to bring to a brand new place that you knew nothing about and leave your home, think of the courage that took. Think of the speculation that took to completely leave everything you knew for a dream.
This reminds me, and that's a profound thought. I really don't know. I really wouldn't know. And but I think about the people that went on the wagons, across the American West, the Conestogas and stuff, and they piled in their big furniture and stuff like that, not knowing if they were even going to be able to use it. Most of the time they had to throw it out off the wagon. But our friend Carol, we were talking about this one time, and I actually wrote just a small piece, and it was called Home is Where the Wagon Broke Down. But she was talking about like, the axle of the wagon breaks down. And so the men are all, worked up about it. They can't fix it. They don't have any, And the woman takes her petticoat and rips a big piece of lace off of it and goes over to a tree stump and sets it down as a tablecloth and begins to feed everybody.
Yeah.
It just makes me cry. It's like, that's what home is. It's not what you have. It's what we do with it.
It's home is where the heart is. And the kitchen table is usually the center of
a tree stump with your petticoat on it. I mean, doesn't that just say it all?
Yes, it does. And it says a lot about women. It says a lot about women.
It does.
Because women, we're the ones that make the home. Yeah. I love it when you do this. You don't get emotional too often. But that one really knocked you over, huh?
Things really do touch me. And I think our conversations touch me. Yeah. They really do. And these are emotional things too. Giving up your home, moving into a new house. It's exciting. I can't wait. But there's also some other stuff going on there. And I'm not a stuff person. That. I mean, truly. Yeah. I have some nice stuff, but if it were all just swept away tomorrow, I'm fine. Yeah. I don't hold on to stuff. I don't care. Right. But, Cindy, we take that love with us. We take that innovation. Also, and this is kind of a little rabbit hole, but, when we moved into this, I had a very eclectic type of sort of an elegant, casual vibe going on in my little condo in Dallas, and moved here. And this is a nice place. And it's very much hill country chic, which is not my vibe, but I've made it work and put my stuff there. But moving into the winery and just redoing everything, I thought, what is my real style now? And if anyone is interested, you can go on Houzz, HOUZZ.com, and take their little 10-question quiz on what is my house style. And mine came out French country. And I went, well, duh, because it's eclectic, it's comfortable, it's soft, it's has a little bit of, some really interesting things in it, and flowers and stuff like that. So I pulled up color palettes, and I'm talking to some experts about doing it. And it occurred to me the other day, because, in the big tasting room, we have these 18-foot ceilings, and all the walls are this beautiful gold faux painting. It's glorious, but it's tired. It's old for me, and it doesn't fit that French country look, because I want to have a cohesive look. And so I was telling Joe the other day, I went, you know what? We're going to paint this. We're going to paint it, but we're going to have it painted to where it is a totally new vibe, and it pulls the whole thing together. That just makes my heart sing. It would have never occurred to me if we hadn't made that decision. Yeah.
Well, you're going to make a beautiful home there in Junction. I can't wait to see it.
I know.
And for all of you out there, embrace your home. Make it full of love. I told the girls this morning, they were watching this horrible cartoon. It was so violent. And one of my grandkids was really into it. And I said, I have to tell you, that cartoon is not allowed in this house anymore. So also watch what you're watching on TV, the music you're listening to, because that energy comes into your home.
Yes, it does.
And I told her, I said, the only thing that's allowed in Nana's house is love and peace and friendship. That's it. That kind of stuff is not, because she's actually having bad dreams. And I told her, I said, it's in there. It's woven in. The ideas are woven in there, and it's hitting them subliminally. So it's important that we begin, especially with everything that we're learning now about programming and how we've been programmed through screens, through television, through radio. We all have been. And it's important that we are mindful of that and be careful of the energy that you're bringing into your home.
Yes. Well, I love that about you, because, by setting that and just saying, this can stay, that has to go.
Yeah, that has to go.
Talk about love. That's love.
That is love.
I want to wrap this up by saying, it's a bonus addendum. It's a free house template that anyone can start with this today. And it's titled Things That Irritate Me About My House, but it causes you to start at the very front of your house, outside around, in the back, throughout the whole thing. And just, it is a step-by-step process. It is easy to follow. You can do it today and get started, and it changes everything.
Oh, good. Good.
Just ask me. And if you want this house template, just go to and send us an email and put house template or whatever you want. Beautiful Network of Women at gmail.com. Beautiful Network of Women at gmail.com. And I will send it to you and my free ebook. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Love you.
Love you, big.
Great day.
Thank you.
Okay.